In this session, we will discuss about temporary tables. Okay, so temporary tables are special tables that exist only for the duration of a session, okay, or optionally a transaction. So, what is the purpose of temporary table means? It is used to store intermediate results. Okay. So this is why we go for temporary table means. So suppose, for example, we have to write some logic to achieve some functionality. Okay. So assume that logic is 100%. Okay. After reaching 50% logic, sometimes you may need to join with another tables, or you may need to call some other functions, user defined functions. Okay. So in that case, that intermediate result we used to store in temporary table. After that, whatever the require according to the requirement, whatever we can do it. Okay. So why we what is the purpose of temporary tables? That means instead of calling the main table repeatedly, some cases, or instead of writing repeated logic in so many places in a store procedure or function. Okay. So like not fun, okay. So in that case, temporary tables will be used. Okay. So performance wise, avoid recomputing expensive joins aggregations repeatedly. That's what I said already. Okay. And each session can have a temporary table with the same name without conflicts. Okay. PostgreSQL automatically drops it when the session or transaction ends. Okay. So here, once you create the temporary table, then after execution of that particular session or transaction, it will automatically drop. Okay. So session level means exist until the session ends. It is default. Transaction level exist until the current transaction ends. Okay. And it will have three types of temporary tables. For example, while creating the temporary table, if you write like this, on commit preserve rows, it will keep the data after the transaction also. And if you write on commit delete rows, it will keep structure, but data will not be available. If you write on commit drop, then it will drop the table after the transaction. Okay. So these types of properties, or we can say features, we will discuss with example. Okay. First, this is total employee details. I mean employee data along with department data. Okay. So here I want multiple data sets. Okay. So I'm just taking y temporary table, in which cases temporary table will be used. Okay. First, I will write description of the requirement, display department names along with count. Okay, along with employee count. And display all the employee data along with department data. Okay. And display location wise employee count. Okay, so this is the requirement. Okay, so for the first requirement, I can write the logic like this. And second requirement, group by department number, not department number, department name, not DEPT name, D name, D name, comma, count of star. Okay. And third requirement, location, 6, 9, 15. So actually in employee table, 14 records will be there. So one junk data it is there. So delete from where employee number equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So for this requirement, I have written 3 different types of queries. Okay. In all queries, I need to join these 2 tables. Okay. So this same kind of requirement I can write by using temporary table. That means if I store this result in a temporary table, then in second result set on third result set, I mean second query and third query, if I can use temporary table, then no need to call main tables. Okay, so I can get the second result set and third result set from the temporary table. Okay, NT create temporary table syntax. You can write temp table or temporary table complete name as your wish. T1. Okay, and I think create temporary table as begin and now T1. Okay, so I can get the data. Now, I think for this task, why? Because it is better to go for DB. Why? Because at a time I want to see multiple data sets. Okay, so take DB and here copy and paste it. And you can write T1 T1. See, in first data set, okay, got it. So this query, we should write here. So this is first data set, and this one is second data set. And now execute it. What will happen? Relation T1 already exists. So drop table T1. Then roll back. See. So first data set, I can get all employee details. Second data set, so I can get department wise count. And third data set, location wise count. Okay, so see, for each and every department, we have only one location. Okay, imagine that if department name exists in multiple locations, or like that location, in location we have multiple departments. Okay, so imagine like that. Okay, but in this table we are not having such kind of thing. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so here see, this result I have stored in temporary table T1, and after that I have written select query, and I have written this group by operation logic based on temporary table. Not again and again, I am not written this logic. Okay, so this is called temporary table that is used to store intermediate results. Okay, and we will see this on commit preserve rows, on commit delete rows. Okay, so here we take this one, and I am discussing just that properties. Okay, I am taking temporary T2 table. Okay, and select here on commit preserve rows. So it is default behavior. That means keeps data after the transaction. Okay. So here, if I execute it, here so table T2 has been created. Now I will check T2. See, T2 data is available. Why? Because after the transaction also data is available. Why? Because I have used this property on commit preserve rows. If you use this property after that particular transaction is completed, then also we can able to see the data in a table. Okay. And one more thing, this is session wise temporary table creation. Suppose if I take one more session, then simply I am taking here, but this time I am giving employee table. Okay. So see, here I am writing select star from T2. Then here I can able to see the employee data, not department data, because this is separate session. Okay. And one more thing, second property on commit delete rows. Okay. So I am taking here for explaining that example, taking T3 and take this property on commit delete rows. Okay, execute it. So now table structure will be there, but records will not be there. Okay, I'll check this. Table structure is there, records are not available. Okay, and next third property is on commit drop. That means the table itself will be dropped. I am taking T4 temporary table, and here properties on commit drop. Execute this. So see, table will not be there. Relation T4 does not exist. That means we have used on commit drop. Okay, so after execution of this transaction, then the table will be dropped. So no table, no data. Okay, so based on the requirement, you can use any kind of property. By default, on commit preserve rows property will be there. Okay, so this is about temporary tables.